Okay, good evening everyone. Today we are going to see Italian opening, the basic setup, the main line, and in the next class we are going to see some traps. Okay, let's start the move. White plays the move e4, black plays the move e5. White develops the knight to f3. Black defends with the purpose of attacking the e5 pawn. Black defends with the move knight c6. And after the move bishop c4, this is the main line of the Italian opening. Black plays the move bishop to c5, a symmetrical move, and this is the territory of Guico piano, as we all know. The idea is to attack the weak f2 pawn of white. Now in this move there are many lines that white can go. White can castle, of course play the move, calm move c3. This is a multi-purpose move and also a move dangerous one, because the idea is to play the move d4 and get a strong center, and not to forget that we are also attacking the e5 pawn as well as the bishop. So in a way black will be forced to respond in this position. Let's say black plays the move knight f6. Yes, now d4. We play the move d4. We don't care about the e4 pawn. So black has to take, because the bishop as well as the pawn was under attack. And after pawn takes back, retreating to the b6 square doesn't make sense, because we just roll down these pawns and he has to resign in a few moves. So if he wants to continue in the game, he has to play the move bishop b4 check. We are going to block with the knight, and many of you are wondering in this position that what happens if black takes the pawn on e4, because this pawn was vulnerable to attack. Well, we just castle in this position, and it's one of the, as you can see in this database, in this Lichess database, there are a lot of games that has been played in this position. This is a well-known position, and there are many players, as you can see in this Jordan Van Forest as well as Aronian played, where white has a chance of winning 1-0. Okay, let's come back to the game. Now see, we have castled, we have a safe king, whereas black king is going to be exposed with the move rook to e1. So black took the knight on c3, and after pawn takes, black played the move bishop takes, attacking the rook. Well, we are not going to care about the rook. We have come this far and we are going to go forward with the move queen to b3. We don't care about the rook. We are going all out for the f7 pawn. Well, the game continues. Black takes the rook. White is currently a rook down, and after we take the pawn, the black king has only one square here. Well, and now we play the move bishop to g5. As you can see, the black queen is almost trapped. If the knight wasn't there, the queen was trapped. So this is the only move to block. There are many couple of ways to win. You can of course take the bishop and then play the move rook to e1, which is very close to winning, but instead you can go for the kill, instant kill, with the move knight to e5. You see, all white's pieces are very aggressively placed against the black king. Black king is almost in a stalemate position. It's about to get mated. And after white plays the move d6, we play the move bishop to h5. And see, this mate black cannot parry. If he takes the knight, he gets mated. Well, what else could he do? There is nothing to be done. Well, of course he can prolong this mate with the move bishop e6, then we take. It doesn't matter. So this was a very dangerous attack. Let's go back to the starting position. Now let's see, in this position taking with the knight is very bad. So after this move, wait a minute, yeah, we just castle. The best move in this position is to take with the bishop, and after this play the move d5. This is the correct way to play, but I guarantee you many of your opponents won't know this position and they are going to make serious blunders in this position, and after this something like pawn takes, they are going to take back with the pawn and hoping that they would get a d5 move, and once we played something like queen to b3, they are going to play this d5 move, and if we take the knight they will take our bishop, and they are hoping to survive in this position. But once the bishop takes, this is a very surprising move. We don't want to take this bishop. In fact, we are going to play the move d5. We won't allow black to play d5. Instead, we are going to make the move. We are kicking the knight. So this is a obvious move, knight to e5. We take back. Yeah, we take back, and after bishop takes, we play the simple move rook to e1. And you see, these two pieces are under attack and only one can be saved. The best move is to play the bishop, I think, something like that. If you want to know the best move is to castle, which is engine is suggesting. You give up one piece and then play bishop to c6, bishop f6, sorry. And this is a decent position.
Knight h5.
Yes.
Knight h5.
Wait a minute.
Knight
Yeah, after, yeah, if knight to h5, yeah, attacking the bishop. Either way we are going to win back a piece, it doesn't matter. Bishop to d3 is good, I think, something like that. Yeah, we are attacking the knight, and the next move we are going to capture the bishop. But see, black's pieces are very much miscoordinated in this position, and we can win. So let's say black tries to win, save this bishop, we take back the knight. We take the knight, and if, let's say, if he plays something like d6, then we give a check, and black has to play the move c6 to defend this knight as well as block the check. It doesn't matter, we take back, and black is in a very messy situation. If he takes with the knight, he loses the knight twice, and then it's a very bad position. If he takes back, we take, he takes, we take back. If he plays the queen, then we just take the rook. So he has to play the move, and then this. As you can see, this is a completely winning position for black. Black can't castle. Black has almost no pawns on the queen side, whereas white has these two pawns, these two strong pawns.
Sir, have you moved back?
Yes. Of course. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. In this position, when we play bishop to d3,
Yes.
the bishop sacrifices itself for the d2 pawn, then he will get appointed 2 pawns. We will get 2 pawns for the missing.
Yeah, what you are saying is that in this position we take back one pawn. Yeah, and when we take back, now you see these two power of these two bishops. It's almost lost for black, and this is very hard position for black to defend. Let's say now after this the knight goes back to f6, and then rook to e1 check, king to f1, and something like, let's say, queen to d2. So queen to a5 I think is good. Yeah, and white has to play something like c6 in this position. Black has to play, sorry, yeah. And now, well, we just play the move d6. We completely paralyze black in this position, and the next move is to play rook here, the bishop is just angling here. We take the bishop, we take the knight, and then swing our queen over to this. This is a dangerous attack. This to bishop will end the game. So going for pawn is not a good idea, because black is very much miscoordinated in this position. So let's go back to the starting position. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and the move bishop to c4, bishop c5, and the move c3. Let's say in the previous moves we have analyzed the move knight f6. Now after c3, let's say black knows this threat that we are going to play the move d4 and then play bishop g5. Black tries to parry it with the move h6. This is a very bad blunder, because this gives the initiative to white very early in the game. After d4, we take back, and then after this check, we calmly play the move knight to c3. And when black plays the move knight f6, I think we should play, what we should play in this position is castling. Yeah, castling is the move. Now if you take the knight, now see this knight is defending this pawn. You see it is already unpinned itself, and now this pawn is currently defended. So if black tries to be greedy in this position and take back this, we can play our traditional move queen to b3. And if black castles, we play the move d5. Yeah, it's true that we are allowing this, but almost I think white has a better position. White has this whole bishop. Let's go back to the few steps. After taking this bishop, and if we take, we could play rook to e1, pinning. But doing that, black has this move d5. That's why it doesn't work. So after this move, we play the move d5, and after knight e7, we go here, knight f6, and now we play the move d6. We are releasing our bishop. We are blocking this pawn. This pawn will stay here forever, and this bishop will have a hard time coming in the game. And black has to take. And now we play the move rook to here. Of course, we can already also take the pawn. Yeah, it's good. So black has to castle, and then we can play this move, bishop to a3. This bishop is just doing here, and after this. Yeah, it's true, but the activity of these bishops are super. It's almost, if we analyze this position in the engine, it's almost giving 0.3 plus 0.3. I mean, it's clearly better for white, this position. So let's go back to the starting position. After bishop to c4, bishop to c5, we play the move, we can play the calm move c3, and after knight f6, we can calmly play the move d3. This is the way to go. We are calmly defending this pawn, and in the next move we want to castle, and after d3 black castles, we castle, and after d6 we play the move knight b to d2, and after bishop to g4, many of your opponent will play in this position this pinning down this knight, hoping that if we move our queen and this knight, then he will take this knight and destroy our castling position. But to his surprise, he will find out that this pin is not a great pin, because this pin would have mattered if the knight could have come on this d4 square and put pressure on this knight. but this d4 square is currently covered with our c3 pawn. So this pin is not a huge threat to us. We can expand on our queen side with the move b4. We can expand our queen side with the move b4, and when black retreats, we play the move queen to b3. And as you can see, this is a pawn structure. Always remember this pawn structure. We have to maintain this pawn structure. The queen and the bishop will put pressure on this f7 pawn, and this knight is protecting each other. This bishop right click, right. Okay, yeah, this bishop is currently putting pressure on the f7 pawn.
Right click round up.
Okay, sir.
Round.
Okay, sir. Now this is the pawn structure that gives white a healthy advantage in this position. We can always, now let's say black plays the move queen to e7. We kick away this bishop to h5, and then we expand on the queen side with the move a4. Our goal is to trap this bishop, so black has to play a5 or a4. If he plays a5, then we push, and let's say the knight goes to here, and then we play the move d4. And this is a very comfortable position for black. Let's go back to the starting position. This is a very calm approach for white. After e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5. This c3 move, as you can follow many games, the grandmaster after c3, grandmaster plays knight f3, knight f6, and then white plays this move d3. After d3, black castles, white castles, and always remember, when black plays this a6 move, there is a small trap in this position. This trap is to play the move knight to a5, and then get rid of your bishop pair. This bishop in the Guico piano, the Italian game, is a very valuable piece. It puts pressure on this f7 pawn. And on top of that, this bishop is very valuable to us. So be careful of this knight a5 trap. You can calmly play the move bishop to b3. And after bishop b3, black plays the move d6. And then the game continues. We play the move knight b to d2, and after bishop to g4, we play h3. The bishop goes back, and remember this always is good maneuver. Rook to e1. Black develops his queen to e7. We play the move knight to f1. Our maneuver is to play, goal is to play the move knight to g3. Yeah. Our goal is to play the move knight to g3, and yeah, by attacking the bishop, and then the bishop will have to move to the g6 square. Yes, to the g6 square. Yeah. এখান থেকে yes.
বিশপটাকে সরিয়ে না নিয়ে g4 তো খেলা যায়।
Yeah. হ্যাঁ b4
বিশপটাকে সরিয়ে না নিয়ে b4 তো খেলা যায়, নাইটটার দিকে না আসে। বুঝলেন তো কি বলছি?
বুঝতে পারলাম না, আরো আগে।
হ্যাঁ,
বিশপটা সরাতে।
আচ্ছা এই পজিশনে। আচ্ছা আচ্ছা এই পজিশনে, হ্যাঁ
নাই যেখানে যখন বিশপটা c4 ছিল।
Okay, yeah, in this position, yeah.
তারপর কুইন চলে আসবে।
Yeah, if you are careful in this position, yeah, the goal was to play, if you play something like h3, the goal was to play the move knight to a5, and you are losing this bishop pair. This bishop which I was telling, that it's the most valuable piece. You don't want to give this bishop for this bad knight. So that what I was telling you in this position.
বলছে বিশপ d5 এর
না বলছি d4 খেলে তো নাইটটা
হ্যাঁ বিশপটা চলে যাচ্ছে, ওই জন্য বলছি বিশপটা ভ্যালুয়েবল পিস।
বিশপটা এক্সচেঞ্জ করতে চাইছে না।
হ্যাঁ ওটাই
d4 খেলার কথা বলছি।
b4 এখানে হ্যাঁ এই এক্সপেনশনও করা যায়, হ্যাঁ এক্সপেনশনও করা যেতে পারে,
কুইন b3 তে আসবে।
কিন্তু হ্যাঁ a6 খেলার পরে আমি বলছি, হ্যাঁ দাঁড়াও এখানে হলো
নাইটে যেন আসতে না পারে, তাই তো?
হ্যাঁ a6 হ্যাঁ b4 হ্যাঁ b4 খেলা যেতে পারে, হ্যাঁ b4
yeah, and also covering that square,
yeah it's
a3 a4 square,
yeah it's
a5 square.
yeah it's playable, but I think it's a good approach to play calmly. We know that this is a threat, so let's move our bishop. This bishop will do a good job on the c2 square. It defends this pawn, and we are also preparing the move d4, which I am going to show you in this position. Let's say after the bishop drops back, we play the move h6, defending against this bishop to g5 threat. Black just parries it with the move h6.
তোরা কয়জন এই পাশে চলে আয় না, এই পাশ থেকে তো বেটার দেখা যাচ্ছে মনে হচ্ছে। তোরা এদিকে চলে আয় না, এই পাশ থেকে বেটার দেখা যাবে। আর তাই ভেতরে চলে আয় একটু।
লাইটটা অফ করে চোখে লাগিয়ে যায়।
আমাকে না দেখে না পাই ক্যামেরা।
Okay, yeah, now white plays his move bishop to c2.
এটা সেই কোনায় গিয়ে ঢুকছে খালি, এই পাশে আয় না। ওই ওর জায়গায় যা, দেখতে পাবো ভালো। খালি অ্যাঙ্গেলে কোনায় গিয়ে তুই ওই কোনা থেকে দেখতে পাচ্ছিস?
কিচ্ছু দেখতে পাবো,
কিচ্ছু দেখতে পাওয়ার কথা নয়। যা ওই পাশে যা, ওইদিকে যা, ভালো দেখতে পাবো। অনেক জায়গা আছে, যা।
মানে আমরা
okay, after the move bishop to c2,
দেখ
okay, after
এই ওগো দেখ।
the move bishop c2, you see now this bishop is defending this e4 pawn, so we can play the move d4. Let's say black now plays the move d6. Now we play the move d4. Now see, if in the previous move we couldn't have played the move d4 in this position because our e4 pawn drops. This knight was attacking this e4 pawn, so we couldn't have played this d4 move earlier. So now sorry after this move, now we play this move bishop c2, and after the move d6, now we play the move d4, and the best move is to play the move bishop to a7. You don't have to be afraid of this move, the knight will take. So now the best move is to play the move rook to e1. Now we are going to maneuver this knight via d2 to f1 to g3. Let's say d2 to f1 and then to g3. This is our goal. This knight will be on the g3 square. It will defend the white king, as well as, if needed be, this knight will also play a key role in attacking the black king. This is some ideas. We could also play the move bishop to calm move, something like after this move black plays the move queen to e7. We could calmly play the move bishop to e3. Never play the move d5. Many of you will get tempted to play the move d5, because once you play the move d5, you gave up this central square. White will just play the move knight to something like e8 and then break with the move c6, and also the bishop has opened up. The white could also play the move something like after c6. Let's say, yeah, in this position if you play the move c4, then white has this threat of going knight to g4 and attack this f7 pawn. This bishop as well as this knight, both are putting huge pressure on this f7 pawn. You have to play something like rook to f1, or something, a weird move, something like bishop to e3. Well, in that case black will be happy to exchange this and giving you a double pawn on the e file, and then he can break in with the move f5, and this is almost a good position for black. So don't fall for these traps. This pawn, you should maintain the center at every cost, at any cost. So these are some traps. Traps means this is some main lines in the Italian game. Bishop c4, bishop c5, and c3. After the move knight f6, we could also castle in this position. And this is a, as all of you know, this pawn is not good for taking, because if you do this, and once this pawn moves here, the e file will get opened up. So after this we take back, and let's say if you go here, then we are already better with the move queen to b3. We are attacking this pawn, we are keeping an eye on the bishop. Next move we are going to play the move d5. Let's say many of your opponents will castle in this position, and then d5. We are attacking the only piece which is defending the bishop, and once the knight moves we take the bishop. You see, these three pieces are very much miscoordinated, so we will pick them one by one. So these are some cute little traps. So many of your opponents who knows the theory won't take this pawn, because they know this pawn is not good for taking, but instead they are going to something like castle in this position. Then we are going to play the move d3, and our game continues as we just saw in the previous lines. So this is the end of the main line. There are also some huge traps in Italian which we will show in the next class. Thank you everyone.